Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here to talk to you about the game Monster Truck Mayhem. Monster Truck Mayhem is a game that is currently in Kickstarter, and it is from Dice Hate Me Games. It is a design that is a real-time dice rolling game in which each person takes over the reins of driving a monster truck down a Hey everyone, this is me, Undead Viking. I'm here to talk to you about the game Monster Truck Mayhem. Monster Truck Mayhem is a dice-rolling, real-time game. I'll explain what that means in just a second. From Dice Hate Me Games that is currently in Kickstarter. In the game, each person takes over the reins of one cool little monster truck that has some special powers, and they're going to race it around a track, and whoever gets around the track first will win the game. Now, along the way, there's lots of little pitfalls and jumps and little spin-outs and things like that you're going to go through. And plus, like I said, it is a real-time dice game. What that means is basically you're going to be rolling your dice over and over. There are no real set turns in the game. Just basically, as you roll, you have to announce what you roll and then act on it by moving your truck along the path. So that'll make a lot more sense once I show you how to play. So why don't I do that? I'll show you how to play the game, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you what I dig about Monster Truck Mayhem. Alright, awesome. I'm going to show you how to play Monster Truck Mayhem. Won't take very long. As always, this is a prototype that the people at Dice Hate Me Games were kind enough to give me to play the game, and I have played the heck out of it. But just keep that in mind, because when they publish the game, what you see in front of you might not be exactly what the published game will look like. Begin the game, everybody lines up their monster trucks there on the starting line. Keep in mind that the light color spots are the spots that your truck is going to be moving on. So like when you see these darker colored ones, don't worry about those. The whole point of the game is to get around the track once, and whoever does that first is the person who will win the game. To begin with, each person will get their monster truck, and each monster truck has certain powers. Valkyrie, Truck Door, the Burninator, Captain Krabby, Cthulhu Crusher, Big D. And so they have special powers like Valkyrie, and some of the terminology here you're not going to understand right now, but has a boost. You get 5 spaces instead of rolling dice. You get one of the Truck Door gets the Burninator die, which is this one, and it has a wild side on it, which is the fire, and so on and so forth. Captain Krabby regains traction with just a single tire. Once again, terminology you might understand. Cthulhu Crusher can make people go insane. Big D drives angry, things like that. So they have these cool little special powers that give them just a way to break the rules, basically. You've seen that in many other games, and this is no difference. But the whole point of the game is, as I said, to get around the track once, and you do that by rolling your dice. Each person will get 3 dice, unless, and you'll get 3 white dice unless you're a Truck Door, when you get 1 red and the 2 white, and you're going to roll these dice. And the dice have numbers on them. They have 1, 2, 1, 3, 2 1s, a lightning bolt, and a tire on them. And this is real time. It isn't one person taking a turn, then another person going, in something that everybody's going to be rolling their dice as fast as they can. And as they roll the dice, see, like there, I rolled 3 1s. Certain things that happen will trigger certain things that happen. If you roll 3 numbers all the same, you have to move that number. So 3 1s, which is kind of common because of the fact that each die has 2 1s on it, you would move 1 space automatically. If you rolled 3 2s, 2 spaces, and so if you move 2, you just go like that. Now, a lot of this game, when you play it, is kind of like you're calling out what you're doing, and you do that for a couple of reasons, basically because nobody's going to be watching your dice. So as you're rolling these in front of you, you're trying to get results on them, and the other players can kind of tell where you are as far as where you're moving, because you're controlling your own guy. You're like, and everybody's moving them like this and going through the track, depending on what you roll. When you move one, move two, things like that. It's just, you don't have to in some cases, as far as the moves go, but it's just kind of nice if you are being, vocal, as far as letting people know what's going on. So that's how that works. Now, you can, if you roll two dice, let's say you roll like a tire and 2 ones, you can, if you want, then go ahead and move those one and just move one space. And the same goes, and that's how you can kind of save certain dice. So, here, let me see what I get here. So you roll, let's say maybe you save this 3, and you're trying to get another 3, you'd say, I'm moving 3. And then you do that. And then you re-roll the 2 3s. I mean, as far as the ones that you use for your movement or, or for whatever action that you're taking are the dice that you re-roll. I mean, you can scoop them all up if you want to and roll at that point. That's your option. But you can lock or hold on to the die that you do not use. That is your option. So, that is that. Now, if that was all it was, the game probably wouldn't be that interesting. But the whole thing is there's all these little obstacles and things like that. If you've ever been to a monster truck rally, and I think I went to one in my entire life. But if there's different hazards and things that happen. And you can probably tell there's these little spots here that look like they're like oil streaks or whatever. And so when your truck lands on those, they have to have traction to get past them. And so when you land on one, you have to have one of your dice showing a tire mark. And if you have a tire, then you're fine. You're okay. But if you land on the spot, let's say like you rolled 3 ones here and you move there, and all of a sudden you don't have a tire, you are stuck and you are spun out, and now you have to roll the dice until you get 3 tires. And so you have those 2 tires. And so you're rolling, once again, everybody else is rolling as well. And you're cursing your luck here, like I'm doing right now, just saying, why can't I roll one more stinking, stupid tire? This is ridiculous. This happens a lot to me when I'm playing this game. But then, you finally got, now you're unstuck and you can move forward. Now, one of the cool things you can do if you're getting in a situation where you have these spots, you can have one of your dice locked down into a tire, and you can just sit there and roll the 2 dice, and like hopefully getting a match, and here's 3, and so you go like 1 2 3, and you'd be fine because you had that tire. The downside of that is you're only having 2 dice and you're losing one of the randomness in those situations. All right, there's 2 spots right here and here that have these little tiles that say Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. The first person that gets to that, say Cthulhu guy gets to that first, they have to then take that tile, move it off to the side, and they're going to take the top card off of this deck here, and then they're going to have this, and then they have to read whatever's on this card in the best monster truck announcer voice they possibly can, and you can't, and this is the spirit of the game. You can't just say, attention truckaholics, it slices, dices, base. No, you have to actually go, attention truckaholics, it slices, it dices, it'll cut a Chevy in 6 different ways, it's truckosaur, and so on. There you go. So you have to, ramp it up. And, because this game isn't super serious, it isn't a hardcore strategic game or anything like that. This is for a crowd. This is for people to get into the game and have fun. So when you do get those, you should really ramp up the fun. Now the whole thing is you have to read that when everybody else is rolling the dice, and it's kind of like a catch-up mechanism, if you will. So then there's a couple other things here quickly just to show them to you. There's a couple spots where there's these little branches where you get to choose which way you go. That's up to you. I mean, obviously there's the shorter one and there's the longer one, and it just depends on what you think is best for you at that time. Once you go and choose one of those spots, you can't go back and pick something different. Pretty straightforward and obvious there. In these locations, you have, there's this little tiny car truck here. Whenever you see this little exclamation point, you have to stop your car on that location. And so you can kind of see that there's this little traction here, and then there's also these 2 3s. You have to get that to be able to move past that spot. Over here, you can see there's a little truck here. You stop there, and you got to get 2 1s to smash this little car here. And then also, there's these cool places with these 2 like power slide things. Wherever you see these 2 tires, if you're on there and you have 2 tires, you can slide forward to the next thing. You know, just like so you skip a bunch of spots. Here is this big, huge, giant jump here. If you have 2 boosts, I should show you the boost here in just a second. I'll show you that too. If you have 2 boosts, you will then jump the entire thing and make it over the top. Otherwise, you have to get 2 ones to smash each and every spot as you go through. Over here, you have the 2 options. 2 boosts lets you jump this bus. Otherwise, you go this long way. But then here's that power boost, the power slide. You can't use it if you go this way, so the power slide will take you to there. You have another token and then a bunch of spots over there as far as the traction spots. Now, the boost location, I should have told you that. I apologize. There's this little boost there. When you get a boost, then you will get to re-roll all 3 of the dice, and you got to get 3 of these lightning bolts. But if you manage to get a boost, you re-roll all 3 of the dice, and then whatever you rolled the highest of, you get to move that space double. Now that wouldn't really be a very good roll, but you yell boost, and then you roll the dice so everybody can see what you get. But if you manage to roll 3, obviously then you get to go 6, which is a pretty good power, if you will. Remember I mentioned Valkyrie, like they automatically gets to go 5. They don't get to go 6, but you automatically get to go 5 with the boost. So like if you're driving the Valkyrie truck, maybe that's your goal, get a lot of boosts so you can then go forward in those locations and get those extra movement. I should also mention that if you ever roll 3 tires, just by rolling 3 tires and you just happen to roll it, and you don't need a tire presently in one of these locations, you're not looking for traction, you can point to somebody else and you can say, you're spun out. And then now they have to roll those 3 tires to be not spun out. They don't have to be in one of these spots for that to happen. It's just you need to pick somebody. And so that's kind of one way that you can like slow down a leader, if so to speak, and make them have to roll all those. So there you go. I mean, the way I'm describing it, it isn't even come close to show you how frenetic and crazy the game gets when you're playing the actual game. But hopefully that gives you a good idea of the basic rules, and should give you a really good idea of how to play the game and how much fun it is when you play it yourself. All right, let me tell you exactly what I think about Monster Truck Mayhem in my conclusion. Alright, I mentioned in the how-to part of the video that this is a crowd-pleasing game, and that's exactly what this is. This is a game that you can't play sitting down, honestly. This is a game where you stand up, and if you have one of those high pub tables, it helps a lot. But it's a game where basically you're going to be rolling dice and moving your truck around as fast as you possibly can. It does take a certain type of person to enjoy the game, and I do enjoy this for the sheer fun of it. I don't think I've won a game. I've won 1 game of it. But this is a game that, like, it is more for the experience of the game than it is actually like a competition, if you will. Yes, it's fun to win, and it feels good to be able to rub that in somebody's face. But no, it's more just the rolling the dice and giggling and laughing and watching your dice fall off the table and grab them and snag them and bring them back up. And then the guy who has to read the card and so on and so forth. And that's what the game is all about. It's an event. It's a thing that is fun to play. It sparks interest, it sparks conversation, and it gets people excited both playing the game and also people watching it. When I played this at my local game store, this was always something that, like, people invariably would just kind of converge on the area watching us play and laughing at our antics. So if you like like a very fast, frenetic game that doesn't take very long, I mean, you can play a game of this in like 15 minutes. But then you're gonna like this. The cool thing is that once you get on with that 15-minute game, you really just want to play one more, if you will. I mean, this is something where we've played kind of quasi-tournaments and stuff, too, where it's just like, okay, best of 5, and giving, points for each level and things like that, as far as who's, farthest ahead and so on and so forth. And it doesn't, Scott Nicholson once said, I enjoy games that don't get in their own way to the point of having fun, and this is definitely that game. It takes you into the fun from the absolute get-go. And yeah, I mean, it isn't going to be the deepest, most strategic, most tactical game you're ever going to play. It is not going to inspire decisions that are going to be troublesome or anything like that, but it is going to be a lot of fun. Your friends are going to laugh, you are going to laugh, and it is something that is going to get drug out a lot for a gaming group that likes this type of game. So there you go. That is Monster Truck Mayhem. If you have any questions about it, I'd be happy to answer those to the best of my ability. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, I am the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.